What's up, all you cool snakes and neonates? How's it going? We are live again. We're going to get into it in a little bit. As always, we'll sort of hang about until everyone gets in. We get a few more people in, and we'll go over stuff. Go over the topic that I want to talk about and stuff like that. Mr. Krabs, Urban Exotics, how's it going? Everyone's already in here, chatting away in the chat box. Beautiful. Okay. Now you coming to join us? Yes. Determined one of these days I'm going to get Kirsten to join us. You can sit off camera then and chat. Yeah. What's up, man, over Miami? How's it going, Paul? I'll get to know you guys' names soon enough. But yeah, I had a massive mishap with Alita today. An absolutely horrible, horrible thing happened with Alita, my Tegu, today. And I'm going to talk about it a bit later on. But I'm not happy about it in the slightest. I'm a little bit shook up about it. Yeah, Alita had a huge mishap earlier. And yeah, we'll talk about that later because it just turned my stomach what happened. It really did. We'll talk about that later on in the live stream. Once we've got more people in here, so that I can explain myself when I tell you what has happened, rather than people watching the video and maybe, I don't know, finding something wrong with what happened. But what's up, Max? How's it going, buddy? Many new snakes and spiders have turned up at your house this week. Is the missus still with you? Good to hear from you all. I'm glad you're all in here already. Last live stream was a bit lonely for the first 5-10 minutes because I was on my own for a while. And I know some people watch us after it's gone live, but I kind of do the lives for the sake of like chatting with people. So I always wait till there's enough people in before I start sort of chatting away properly and about all the other stuff and we're going to chat about. But yeah, we'll get into it in a bit. But yeah, so stay tuned for what happened with Alita because she's in the bad book. She's grounded. She's grounded. She's not getting out again. Max is like, funny you say that. What have you got, Max? What's turning up? Or are you saying that about the missus and she left you? And then, in which case, I'll feel really bad for bringing that up. You're still here, but told her there's a scorpion on the way too. See, I've never been one for scorpions. Me and Kirsten were talking about this. She is in the naughty Tegu corner. She really is, Mr. Krabs. She's I was annoyed with her. Like for a few minutes, I was annoyed with her. It's brutal what happened. Scorpion. Yeah, me and Kirsten talked about scorpions because we're building the bug wall and all that stuff. Scorpion's not something that really interests us that much. We love our spiders. We definitely love our spiders. We've got new eggs in of stuff. And oh, Luna's shed. That's awesome. Milkshake, the king snake, is currently gearing up to shed right now. She's been sort of sleeping for the past 2 or 3 days, and then just in the last like half hour, she's suddenly gotten really active. So I think she's probably by the time we finish this live, Milkshake, the king snake, will probably have shed out. I would imagine she'll be looking for stuff to rub her nose off and break that seal and all that kind of stuff. But I'm happy. How was her shed, Max? Did she have a good shed, buddy? With the substrate I seen you had, I would imagine she's had a good shed. You just got the notification. Cool. Yeah, we'll hold off for a few minutes. 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know what it's like, but I know on Facebook, yeah, there's people coming in now. I can see people join out. When I'm doing Facebook lives, there's always a good like 2, 3, maybe even to 5 minute delay between the chat box, like people commenting and chatting, and me receiving it while I'm doing the live. I don't know if YouTube's the same. But yeah, I know that on Facebook there's a serious delay between me seeing your guys' comments. So if that's the case, if it seems like I'm ignoring you guys, I'm not. It's just I've not got your comment through. Or you guys are chatting so fast, I've missed it. But I try and answer every single one of you. I try. I know you're all there, and I appreciate you guys all commenting and asking questions. If I ignore it, just ask it again. Don't feel bad about asking the same question twice. What's the chances I'm going to miss it 2 or 3 times? You know. Full shed, looking good. Awesome, Max. By the end of the weekend, send me some pictures, Max, when you've got her in her new enclosure and all that stuff. I like to know how my babies are doing when they're away to their new homes. You guys don't know, Max here in the chat took Luna, the big female royal that I had. I rehomed her off to Max. She's off to a loving home. Max is looking after her and doing a fantastic job. This was her boyfriend, actually. I've got her in my hands. But I didn't want to keep trying to breed her because she wasn't a fantastic eater. And I didn't want to keep stressing her out with trying to breed her kind of thing. Your bearded dragon turned 1. I hope you threw it a party. I hope you gave it a hat and it had a nice party and you gave it some nice calcium dusted crickets or something special, or a veggie cake. I don't know. I don't know if you could make a cake for a bearded dragon made out of vegetables or something, or lettuce layered with something. I don't know. But that's cool. Happy birthday to your bearded dragon. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'd like to throw every one of my animals a birthday party, but they're expensive enough to keep as it is. We installed one of those monitors for watching the electricity, and I wish we hadn't. But we noticed that the majority users are the turtle upstairs and Alita. So I think when the turtle eventually goes off to its new home, we will be quite good on that front. What's up, Bourbon? How's it going, buddy? You got some cockroaches. Good stuff. It's a nice podgy belly, a good birthday feed. Mr. Puff. Do you know what? I'm sure I've heard of a bearded dragon called Mr. Puff before. It's a dragon, is it? Puff the Magic Dragon. Or Mr. Puff the Magic Dragon to you. Love it. Love it. That's fantastic. So yeah, today's topic. I don't know if you guys have followed, because I know a lot of you new followers out there are sort of spider keepers and arachnid keepers and invert keepers and stuff. But there's a lot kicking off in the reptile world just now. It's going crazy. It's going mad. And it's not necessarily people against reptile owners. It's the reptile owners themselves. It's like another freaking Tiger King amongst everyone. I think it's going to be another Tiger King between like Tyler Noland and Nerd and all that stuff. It's just mental. It's crazy. So this live stream, I want to spread the love, guys, is what I'm wanting to do. Take a break from all the craziness that's going in the reptile world just now. Yeah, just give you guys my thoughts on it, my thoughts on the reptile world and all this stuff and all the keepers and all that's good stuff, as they say. But I've always make it very clear on all of my videos, my lives on Facebook, and including on here, I do not tolerate nastiness. I don't tolerate any bitchiness. I don't tolerate anyone saying anything bad about other keepers. So if you guys have a bad thought or a bad opinion on someone else, keep it in there, because I don't want to see it in my comments. Yeah, Urban, you're totally right. I left the exotic world. I didn't leave it. I kept keeping exotics, but I isolated myself from all the like RF UK, the Reptile Forums UK, all the other forums and all that stuff. It was sort of before Facebook sort of became big. Was when I was into that. I was talking about a decade ago, probably more. And yeah, I sort of isolated myself because it has always been like that, Urban. It has. You're exactly right, buddy. But yeah, I always say if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything nice at all. And the thing is, we have enough hate from the outside world. Why is my music going quiet? I don't know. You guys still see me? I hope my Wi-Fi's not gone funny. But yeah, we get enough. I had a thing with a neighbor recently, and they were like, "Oh my God, you know, your reptiles," and I'm phoning social services and all that stuff because you've got kids around your reptiles and all that. I was like, and for some reason, people think like the house smells never. My house smells freaking beautiful. Kirsten's got a thing about like wax melts and all that kind of stuff. So my house smells beautiful. But yeah, we get enough hate from the outside world. And the whole reason for my channel is to show, as with pretty much every other channel out there, or most channels out there, is to show people reptiles in their true light and how they really are. My my channel is very slow growing, doesn't have many followers, but that's because I show reptiles in the true light, which they're not really exciting. This is about as exciting as it gets. I don't show snake biting videos. People have a problem with like Brian Barczyk because that's how he made his name largely on YouTube, was his old channel with snake bites. But he learned from that, and love Brian or hate Brian, he's still changing non-reptile people's minds. He has that sort of energy and that thing about him, and that's a good thing. Love Brian or hate Brian, that's a fantastic thing. He was the my inspiration to start my own YouTube channel, was Brian Barczyk. And I know a lot of people don't like him, and if that's the case, fair enough. But what's up, Dakota? How's it going? But yeah, people hate on the wrong people. Like I say, even if you don't agree with Brian, he's doing wonders for the reptile world. The amount of people with his reptarium and all that stuff whose minds he's changed over the years, it's unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic. And a lot of reptile keepers are like that. They just want to change people's minds. Maybe some people go around about it poorly, but that's the thing. I'm going to quickly scroll up chats and see what's happening. Max can confirm, lovely house. Yeah, I forget Max has been in my house. There you go. Max will tell you if my house smells or not. One thing I found about the inverts world, because as you guys know, I'm really new to inverts and spiders and all that kind of stuff. One thing I found about like the spider world is the folk are lovely. You guys are fantastic. All you new spider friends that I've made on here from like Scott's channel, like the live stream I did on Scott's, but everyone's so welcoming. And if I've got spare slings, I'll throw them your way. Or you're nearly at 500 subscribers. Oh well, I'll donate to your giveaway and stuff. I've met you like for 5 minutes, and I'm going to donate you stuff. Absolutely fantastic. That's the attitude we need. We need to help each other out. That's the can-do attitude that we need in the reptile world. Mr. Krabs, what did I have for tea or dinner? I defrosted some chili that I'd made and mixed it with some pasta. There you go. That's what I had for dinner. Exactly. There's got loads of discounts on. Dakota, I said hi to Dakota. It's not always like that. No, it's not, and it should be. I understand there's going to be clashes of personalities and all that kind of stuff, but we're all in it for the same reason. We all appreciate and love these animals. For me, it's more the awareness. As you guys know, I'm about the conservation and preservation. Any excuse I get for any of my animals, I'll talk about the problems they're having at home in their homelands, like the Burmese python being nearly on the endangered list in the wild. Not in America, of course, but where they're actually from in Southeast Asia. You've got the Dumerel's boa, whose habitat, they're down to about 10% of their original rainforest. Same with the red tails from the Amazon. Everyone knows what goes on in the Amazon and stuff like that, the illegal animal trades. And just, I'm all about the preservation. I want to make a difference in the animal world, as do most other people. It's just people go around it different ways. Brian Barczyk grabs people in with his thumbnails. People hate his thumbnails. But that's him grabbing people's attention in. I kind of try not to clickbait people, but sometimes I'll just throw out a little one just to be like, look at this, and get people in. But that's about it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Keyboard warriors are the cancer that's killing the reptile hobby. They are. And majority of them are people that have kept a reptile or an animal for about a year. I've even seen people keep them for about a couple of months. And then they send me this thing, look at this is horrible. I'm like, no, that's how that should be done. They just have an opinion because they've kept these animals for a couple of months or whatever, and they think that they know everything and they know best, and they want to put other people down to make themselves seem more knowledgeable and all that kind of stuff. And just stop, learn. We're always learning. I love listening to new keepers and other keepers and things like that, especially when they do things differently to me. That's the main thing to remember. Just because something's different to the way that you do it doesn't mean that it's wrong. We can always all learn from everyone else. If you take like all the collective information that everyone knows, in one bundle, it's still nothing in comparison. So for to take that apart and for one person to think they know everything or they can't learn off someone else, it's stupid. They're not going to learn off that person, then that person, and yeah, they're never going to learn, you know. So we're all always learning, and hating on each other, you're never going to learn because, like I say, we all have so much to learn from each other. Different advise don't hate, exactly. So many times on forums I've seen someone post up like the royal python having shedding issues or even having a burnt belly because they've set up the tank wrong, but that's how they've been told to from the shop or whatever. And people are on them and they're, oh my god, you're an idiot, you shouldn't have an animal, someone please take this off them, and all this stuff. I'm like, I've had that. I've seen it so many times, and I've messaged them and been like, "Look, I've PM'd you." I'll message them and be like, "Right, this is what you need to do. This is what you've done wrong. And you know, if you need anything else, let me know." And there's been so many people who've been like, "Oh, thank you, and everything like that." And they've come to me. I had one lassie came to me and she was really upset because she posted a picture of her boa while she was smoking, and she didn't realize that, of course, snakes can't cough, and it can irritate them, and of course they can't cough to get it up, and it can. It's not very good for them, you know. And everyone was on her, and I was like, she was like, "Oh, I should have just sent you the picture first to see if it was okay." I was like, "You shouldn't have to send me a picture first." All someone had to say was, "Look, it's not very advisable to smoke or like with your snake right next to you, kind of thing. You know, just have your fag before you have to hold your snake. You know, there was no need to like tear the poor lassie's eye off and stuff." Um, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good. We need to stop the hate. We need to stop putting each other down for the sake of putting each other down and support each other. Look at the good that everyone's doing. I mean, people were hating on Kevin McCurley for Lilith because of that fang infection that she had that was stinging into her eye and all that. But I mean, people forget she was a wild caught animal. The amount of problems that happen with wild caught animals is unreal. They're taking in parasites and things from the wild. She could have had an old injury from the wild that maybe was underlying and just wasn't, the infection was growing. She could have been bitten by something in the wild when she was eating it or scratched or something, you know. There is definitely, Dakota, hashtag stop the hate. We need that. We need that in here. Stop the reptile hate. Because yeah, I mean, look at what Kevin does. He's on, I know it's America, but he's on the forefront in America, like fighting to keep these animals that we all keep. And you say that's in Florida, that's nothing to do with us. But the UK likes to take on American fads. That's nothing new, and they love it. What happens in America, the UK loves to copy and try and be a mini America kind of thing, you know. All lives matter, yeah, that too. But it's just, I don't get it. I mean, your lives matter stuff, you know. I mean, I've said on Scott's channel before. Um, I heard I've got a lot of friends from America on my Facebook and stuff. Right, Urban, take it easy, buddy. See you on the next one. If you get your phone charged, come back. But yeah, I've seen before there was like this dude that I know. He was like posted this like black only reptile group. And I rhetorically was like, why does there need to be a black only reptile group? As if to say, like, that's freaking stupid. There has to be one, you know? And he messaged me and like explained it. I was like, yeah, no, I know that why. Because they're like, because people hate, like, they were getting like hate mail and stuff off people like from normal reptile groups just because of their skin color. I was like, that's freaking stupid. I was like, having different color skin is no different than having like different colored eyes or hair. You know what I mean? We're still keeping the same animals. We're still loving and caring for the same animals. The care of the animal doesn't change because the person changes. You know what I mean? That's freaking stupid as well. Like, again, it's discrimination, and I hate prejudice. Another thing is we're setting the example for the upcoming keepers. So the new keepers that are coming into the reptile world are being hated on, you know, they're being like, oh my God, you should know this. So when they know that, someone else posts the same question they asked and they got hate for, and they give that person, oh my God, you should know this, when, you know, they got hate for it. Whereas if someone says to them, look, you should know this, and then when someone else comes up and asks the same question, they go, oh, look, this is how it's done, you know, this is better, you know. So we're passing on the hate, we're passing down the judgment, you know. And we're making it seem like it should be obvious that we know everything. You should get your first snake and know absolutely everything about that snake, or first lizard, spider, whatever, and know everything about it. Everyone starts somewhere. Even the best of the best started with a garter snake or corn snake or their first royal python. They started with one snake. when they knew nothing as well. So we're all always learning. So remember that whenever you see someone asking for help, or someone posting a picture of a snake that's thin or struggling to shed or set up wrong, advise them what to do. Advise them the right way to do it, not this whole freaking jumping down their throat thing. And then all this stuff happening between Nerd and Tyler and all that stuff just now. I mean, I think I seen the edited version. I think Nerd edited their video, because when I watched it, there was nothing about Tyler or Chandler in it. Now, I love Tyler, I love Chandler, and I love Kevin. I have Donnie on my Facebook, so I like Donnie and I like what Donnie does. Donnie knows that he's not an animal person. Tyler was talking about, Donnie isn't an animal person. Donnie knows he's not an animal person. Donnie is a cameraman. And he's just there to be the cameraman and capture people's imagination. And again, like Brian, bring people in to see the animals, So he knows that. But they are all fantastic keepers. Chandler, the conservation work, that guy slept in a garage for over a year just to save money to buy his zoo. I mean, that's amazing. He slept in a garage with a crocodile on each side of him in their enclosures where the animals were, so that he could save enough money to buy the land where he wanted to move in with his animals. I mean, that's devotion. How could you hate that? You know what I mean? I know a lot of venomous keepers hate Chandler because of his energy, but again, that's what's going to bring people in. That's what's going to make people thingy. Best way to help baby corn snake: shed his skin off his tail. Pardon me. Claire. Hi, Claire. Give him a wee soak and get a wee tub, a sealed tub. I take it you mean the shed skin. That it's not gotten off yet. Give it a wee soak in water that's not hot, but about room temperature, just above room temperature, so you can put your hand in it and you're comfortable, but not feeling the warmth, and of course not feeling the cold. But yeah, just put a wee bit of water in a tub with a lid, like a rub or something like that. Plunk your corn in there, leave it in there for about half an hour or so, and then yeah, when you pull it out, just let it run through your hands. Don't pick it. Just let it run through your hands, just with a slightly tight grip at that bit of shed, and you'll be able to pull it off. The water will soak it and thingy it off, and that's the best advice. I do that with any of my snakes that have a problem with their shedding. Give them a wee soak for like half an hour, and then the skin's just nice and soft, and it just usually just pulls off. Doesn't come off first time. Give it another soak the next day, and so on and so forth. But if it's just one layer, yeah, a wee soak in some water. About the height of the snake. You don't have to drown the snake. Just the same height as the snake. Just put a wee drop. If it's a baby, you're only going to need like that deep of water in there, just enough for them just to soak in and that kind of stuff. And that will help your wee corn snake out. That's what I do. As I always say, you guys, I'm just giving you advice of what I've found works, which is what we're talking about. What works for someone might not work for someone else. Doesn't mean it's the wrong way or the right way. Oh, okay, Max. Thanks for that, buddy. You're very welcome, Claire. So, yeah, I mean, and Tyler touched on this in one of his lives or one of his videos as well. They were talking about the people they had around that were phonies. I mean, I don't agree with this whole shooting pythons with bows, burning the anacondas underwater. No animal lover on this earth is going to agree with that. No animal lover anywhere is going to agree with that. Well, like Tyler said, Tyler knew the people individually, as Chandler probably knew the people individually. Maybe grew up with them, maybe went to school with them, who knows? But they knew the people and they liked the people, but they didn't necessarily like the things they did, like those videos. That's when someone's trying to grab attention, but going about it the wrong way. Like I was saying earlier, some people have got the right idea, just the wrong method of doing it. Which means that they should be pointed in the right direction, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, Chandler's fantastic. Tyler, I would like Tyler. Tyler loves his animals. I mean, this last video that he did at the bird sanctuary and all that kind of stuff just shows that. I love Kevin, Camp Kenan, love Kenan. Jay was under some hate recently because of his snake bite videos. Unfortunately, those are the type of videos that go viral. He has plenty of different videos on his channel. Unfortunately, like Brian, made his name with snake bite videos. Snake bite videos are what goes viral. People love to hate snakes, which is why you'll never see me, or very, very rarely see me show a snake bite video kind of thing. I know I've done maybe two where the African rocks had a go at me and Hunter behind me had a go at me as well. But African rock was scared and in a strange place, and the Burmese was just a baby and again scared. I told you guys, majority of the time they bite. It's either fear or food is the two reasons of biting. But yeah, even if you don't like someone, they're all doing fantastic for the snake world. All of them are fantastic in conservation. Some of the handling tips and things that I've picked up from Kevin are absolutely second to none. I mean, when Kevin first came on the scene, people were like laughing at his monitor handling techniques and stuff, and they were saying, "Oh, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. This is how we do it." And now Kevin's monitor handling techniques are like gospel. That's what people do, and that's what people go by. So it just shows you not to judge someone's techniques just because they're different, you know. And that's that. Are you want to go back, buddy? Will we get someone else out? You're handsome. You look like you're going to shed again, but that's impossible because you've just shed out. But right, let's get Marley out because he's sitting out. He was shedding shed last time, so we didn't get to take him out. Probably going to be a quick one. It's probably going to be a quick one tonight, I was imagining. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, got our boy Money. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to bore you too much on that topic. I want you guys to get involved and see how you guys are all doing. When we get to Alita, I'll tell you guys about Alita's mishap. Probably soon. But yeah, how are you guys all doing? Marley, he's an old boy. Well, he's getting old. I wouldn't say he's an old boy. He's like 11, 12 maybe. He's getting on a bit. He's getting on. He's getting there. But yeah, how are you guys all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Keeping well. Everyone's pretty much out of shed apart from Milkshake. Even the curly hair tarantula molted. Don't know if I'll get her out yet. She's not eaten yet after her molt. It must be. She done it. Is it a good shed? Sit out then, midget. There we go. Told you guys she would shed by the end of the stream. Yeah, she might be hungry. It's not a bad bite. Woo! Talking about snake bites and stuff. But yeah, I don't portray snake biting. I never like to show that kind of thing because you've got the same chances of being bitten by a snake as you do, or a captive bred snake, one that's been worked with and kept. You've got the same chance of being bitten by a sort of pet snake as you do a pet dog. Dogs will return or revert back to being feral in the wild the same way as anything else would, you know. They're not very different in that way. You're not going to go anywhere, pal. Those are all shut, or I hope they're all shut. Oh, we got a full shed off of our milkshake, guys. Look at this. Thank you. Look, fresh shed from our little milkshake. How cute is that? Oh, she burst her head, though. Ripped the head just a little bit. You just can't quite see that little sort of skull on her head. She burst that head a little bit. But there we go, guys. You have been present for Milkshake's first ever shed. Isn't that cute? But I'll probably feed her later on tonight, maybe tomorrow. I don't like to feed them immediately. Have you worked onto that, you little poop head? You silly! But he's a big boy. Yeah, he's about 6 foot. I take it you mean him and not her. But yeah, he's a big boy. He's about 6 foot. He's an older boy. Hunter, the Burmese python, has caught up with him. The ornamentals, the P. regalis, are doing just fine, Max. One of them's growing like hell and not molting, and the other one's not really eating like she should molt, but not growing and not molting. So I'm expecting both of those to go into molt fairly soon. Just the growth on one of them was ridiculous. I'm hoping with the difference in growth, I've got a male and female. Not that I'm planning on breeding them, but it would just be nice to have the option there if I ever decided to go down that route. But I don't know if I would risk it, just simply because there's that risk of the females eating the males. And Kirsten kind of loves the male, and I don't want to lose her boy. So yes, they are doing fine. But yeah, totally full shed off of her. She's growing like a weed too. I wasn't surprised that she went in the shed because she's growing absolutely crazy. I'll not get her out because she's just shed. She'll be feeling a bit vulnerable because she's so young. She'll be so soft and vulnerable. So he's away up that bed. Let's see. Yes, Marley is about 6 foot. The Burmese is about, he's just tipped over the 6 foot mark. Is that your scale, you silly boy? Yeah, we'll get the Burmese out after we get Alita out. I can see you. But yeah, he's looking good. He's shed and fed and happy. In fact, I don't know if he was fed actually. No, he wasn't fed, was he? Marley, because he's not long shed. Yeah, he missed his last feeding day. They fed on a 2 weekly, and I kind of keep them to that 2 weekly. So if they miss it, depending on the snake and how much they've missed it by, I'll sometimes leave it till next, or I'll give them a small meal and then leave them out till next. So I'll maybe give them a small meal on, what day is it? Friday. No, well, it's Thursday. I'll maybe give them a small meal on Monday just to tide them through till next Monday. And then on next Monday, I'll give them his usual prey size item and get them back on the routine, because I do the 2 weeklies, of course, 2 weeks, and then I do the weeklies every week. So it just keeps everyone on that same sort of routine and that kind of thing. It keeps it simple, because my memory, I'm like a sieve and I forget everything constantly. I do try and keep notes or records of when they eat, but they all eat and I forget all the time. So yeah, they're just fed. And they're all, as you see, perfectly happy, perfectly healthy. He's fed quite a bit. That's a big thing on Facebook. We're talking about hate. That's the thing that stirs people up in the boa forums, is how much you feed your boas. It's a big thing in the boa forums. But he's beautiful shape, and by their charts, they would say that I'm overfeeding him. But as you can see, he's absolutely perfect. Hey, my beautiful boy. Here you go. See the camera? No, you know when in the camera. When did you see behind Dad? Are you? You silly. There you go. There's my beautiful boy. The snake with all the iridescent shots you see on Facebook and on the YouTube channel. It's Marley here that you get that. His iridescents are fantastic. There you go. Like I say, he's getting older. I've sort of retired him from the kids' parties and things. Hunter's taken over him. And Malfoy's taken over Hunter's place. Just because I don't want to put any extra strain on his heart as he starts to get older. I've seen big snakes come back from like educational talks and shows and drop down dead from heart attacks and all that kind of stuff. So Alita, come on, come on, tell the people what you did. Tell them why you're grounded. Come on, come on, tell them why you're grounded. Hear this. Alita, she's sound asleep. She will get up. I'll wake her up, and she will get up. Come on, Alita. There we go. Good girl. That was a good bit of training there. I tapped the side and she came out. Come on, tell the people what you did. Come on, tell them why you're a bad girl. Come on. Come and see. She's awake, so she will come out. But how's everyone doing? Hopefully I won't muck up the camera this time, like I did in the last live. I was touching things and then I ended up mucking up the camera. It is all good this time so far. So we're happy with that. Right, Lisa, come on. How about you guys? Right. Tell them what you did today. What did you do? What did you do? Did you eat a wild chick? Did you? Alita was out for a bask in the garden today, weren't you? And she was sitting basking about a foot from the hedge that runs down the side of her garden. Now, she always is an interest in this hedge, so she was looking at the hedge, sniffing, didn't think anything of it. Suddenly, she darted for the hedge, which isn't like her. I mean, I don't even put a harness on her when she's in the garden because she doesn't dart. She's perfectly safe. And she pulls out this screaming chick. Didn't you? You're nasty. And yes, tore it up. Tore up this poor little chick. Yeah, horrible. Horrible. There's nothing I can do. The chick must have fallen out of its nest and been sat at the bottom of the hedge. In all honesty, in that situation, if Alita hadn't have got it, a cat would have. But I mean, I was straight on her and got the chick off of her, but the damage was already done. I had to put the chick down myself, because it was horrible. You were nasty, but it's just instinctual. And I was talking about learning earlier. Now I won't let her near that hedge. Simple as that. She doesn't get near the hedge now, do you? No, you're nasties. Yes, you have every right to look ashamed of yourself and look away. Yes, you're a bad girl. She was only doing what she was trained, what she instinctually does. You know, sees food, eat food. You know, but I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh no, she just. It was like a split second. It was in there, just pulled this little chick out. I was like, oh no. And yeah, it was such a shame. But nothing we could do about it. It's done now. Like I say, if Alita hadn't got it, a cat would have. But I'd rather she didn't. Hey, you're a bad girl. Yes, you are. She's so cute. Yeah, Russell. She acts like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. It was so quick. Like she pulled it out, just two or three. It wasn't. I don't even think it was three. Two shakes of her head, and the girls got to eat. It was sad. It was savage, but it was actually kind of impressive. Like two shakes of her head, and the thing was in two halves. It was crazy. I blinked and it happened. Like it was absolutely mental. Um, I don't like killing things unnecessarily, and I don't like seeing things killed unnecessarily, as you guys know. That's why I like frozen thawed prey, because it's killed humanely. That's why I've now got a colony of cockroaches or dubia roaches now, because she won't eat the dubia roaches. And I refuse to even kill a bug. So dubia roaches, I've now got a breeding colony of dubia roaches in the house, because I refuse to kill them unnecessarily. So that's how I feel. I won't even kill bugs. So you can imagine how heartbroken I was when this poor wee chick was destroyed in front of me by Alita here. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. I felt so bad. Alita was happy with herself, but she wasn't happy with herself. I think she didn't know what to do with it. What's up, Anton? How's it going, buddy? But yeah, because I sat like in disbelief for a second, and she sat with part of it in her mouth, just staring at me like, what do I do now? There was no, when a dog like grabs a rabbit or something it shouldn't, and it tries to swallow it as quickly as possible. She just sort of sat there. It was like she didn't know she didn't know what to do with it after she'd killed it. It was very strange. So I just sort of used a bit of wood, and there was no fight. I just flicked it out of her mouth, or the remains of it out of her mouth, and she didn't put up a fight. She gave it up, and then that was it. She just left it. It was very, very sort of strange. It was like she just instinctively, she was like, food, but then it was alive, and she's never had live prey. And then, yeah, I think after she brought it out, she was like, "Holy crap, what am I supposed to do with this?" But yeah, lesson learned. She won't be getting anywhere near that hedge again. That's for sure. Um, she's even been very calm tonight. She knows she's in the bad books, don't you? Nah. We've had our cuddles now. That's her waking up. There you go. You want to cuddle over the back? There's my big girl. Oh, and there's the beard getting combed again. Mr. Krabs is back. What's up, Mr. Krabs? So did you hear what Alita did there, Mr. Krabs? I don't know if you heard it or missed it. She was naughty. She nearly had a belly full of chick. I didn't want her to eat it simply because of parasites, things like that. The chick could have been carried. So yeah, I didn't let her eat it. I don't think she even wanted to. Alita got a hold of a real chick in my garden. It had fallen out of the nest. And yeah, she's a predator. And it had fallen out of the nest. And like a cat, she killed it. I didn't see it. She's seen it. But yeah, I was walking her in the garden. She was bathing, sunbathing, and then she just darted for the hedge, which wasn't unusual. She's got a fascination with the hedge anyway, somewhere she can hide. And then, yeah, within a split second, she had this little chick in her mouth and she tore it in two halves. Was not very nice. Like I say, I know that kind of thing happens in the wild, but yeah, there was. It didn't need to happen here. You want to come see Dad, Mordecai? And I was not very happy about it being an animal lover and a conservationist. It was Mr. Krabs. It was such a shame. It was a shame. It was only a blackbird, but that doesn't matter. Um, I think it was a blackbird chick. It looked like a blackbird chick. But yeah, it was such a shame. I felt really bad. Like I say, I don't like killing anything, and it happened right in front of my eyes, and it was like just so quick. It was lightning, just a flurry of movement. There's nothing I could do. I just stood in disbelief for like a second, like what? And yeah, I just sort of grabbed her behind the back of the head and just flicked the remains of it out with a bit of wood, and she didn't. That was it. And that was that ordeal. So that is why Alita is in the bad books. And I will not be allowing her near that hedge again, especially not around this time of year when the chicks are starting to sort of come out of the nest. So, well, that one wasn't anywhere near ready to fly. That was quite a young one, so it wasn't sort of coming out of the nest. It was must have just fallen out of the nest. But oh, I can favorite comments. Cool. Didn't even know I could do that. Eh? Don't mess about with it. Kurt's like, don't mess about with it. You'll muck it up again. There you go. Favorite Russell's comment right now. Cool. I didn't know I could do that. It is. It is. This is everyone's favorite is Mordecai, including mine. This is my favorite snake that I own. Why does the internet keep mucking up? Or the song? Oh, weird. Don't like silence there. No, the bird remains are not there, Mr. Krabs. Immediately I bagged it up and binned it because I didn't want her coming back out again and getting obsessed with that spot and going back because she would have just kept going back to it anyway. So I cleaned up the remains and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but yeah, Mr. Krabs wants a barbecue on the go just now. There wasn't much meat on it because it was so small, but it had obviously just fallen at the nest. And like I say, in that situation, if Alita didn't get it, a cat was certainly going to, because we're in the city and cats are left, right, and centre. And yeah, a cat would have had it sooner rather than later. It was just a shame that, like I say, I had to witness Alita getting it. But passed them off for Krabby Patty. Is that you giving us the secret recipe to the Krabby Patty right there? We all know the secret recipe now. He's not held that one very well. Yep, that's on it as well. Yep, and the secret ingredient. You finally know there, you know. That's awesome. So that was my day. Bird remains killed by Tegu. But yeah, it's not something I want to happen. Um, but yeah, you live and learn. Alita won't learn. She'll still do it if she gets the chance. But like I say, I just won't let her near that hedge again. She's always had a fixation with that hedge, but it's just because she could see through to the other side. And she's like, oh, what's through there? But on this day, there was a freaking chick. Pardon me. But never mind. Yeah, it has to have Tegu's saliva. That's the kick. The kick is the Tegu saliva. They think that all monitors carry some form of venom in their saliva or bacteria in their saliva, sort of like a venom that breaks down flesh and all that kind of stuff. So at first they thought it was just Komodo dragons that had it. And of course, Gila monsters have the actual venom, but they reckon that all monitors have it, or at least have a minor form of it. I don't know if that's true with tegus as well. I'm not going to let Alita bite me and find out, to be honest with you. Her teeth aren't very big, but her jaws are hella strong, as I seen today. Um, Little madam, what do I do for a living? I have done many different jobs in my life. I've worked in all forms of the car trade, building sites, Manitou driving. Um, I've worked in parts of the animal. I've worked in like exotic animal shops. I've even worked on like outdoor pig farms. I've worked in many different things. A bit of retail, bit of spray painting. But now I decided to start doing my own thing. So officially, right now, this is kind of what I do. I'm class myself as like an animal educator. I go around like schools and I hire out to like kids' parties and stuff like that. And I do like educational talks on the animals, talking about them, their homes, where they come from, any issues in their homes, what we can do to help them. That kind of thing is what I do. That's it. Jack of all trades, master of none. That's exactly it. A village idiot with a passion for animals. That's how to sum me up as best. Mr. Krabs is about to get sued for taking saliva in his burger. So it was horse in Tesco, is now it's bird in the Krabby Patty. How old am I? Should we play a game? Guess Reptile Rich's age. I've worked since I was like 14, 15. So I started working very young. There's a whole backstory to that, but we'll not get into that. But yeah, I've worked since I was very young. I had bills to pay since I was very young. Had to grow up very fast. We'll put it that way. I had to grow up very fast. And yeah, I've worked in many different places. Um, got fed up of going from different job to different job. I was just getting jobs just to survive. You know, it wasn't jobs I enjoyed. I was just doing something to pay the bills. And the last job, they were like really nasty. People like calling me names and stuff, like an idiot. I was a waste of space. I was a mink. I was all this. I was all that. I was dirty. Because I worked in a shot blasting booth. If anyone's ever done shot blasting, it's impossible to keep clean. But yeah, it's horrible. So I got fed up. Basically, got fed up of being treated like rubbish, and was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing what I love. I'm going to chase my dream. If you don't chase your dream, nobody else is going to give it to you. You know, I mean, nobody's going to hand it to you. So Have I done about invasive species? Depends where. I mean, I have talked about like sort of invasive species in Florida. Touched on it. I've not even talked about it. I've touched on it in a few of my talks and things like that. Like, of course, I've got a Burmese python, and of course, he's from Southeast Asia, but they have that big problem in thingy. So like, I do talk about. I have talked about or touched on like passing your animals on responsibly and not releasing them and things like that. But I'm trying my best. Max has been pleasing his girlfriend by purchasing more enclosures for animals. Well, thank you very much, Ant. That's an awesome comment. I'm trying my best. Like I was saying earlier on in the video, nobody knows everything. I'm just learning off the best or the people I consider to be the best. And Mr. Krabs, you are right. I have about 34 days left in my 20s. Kirsten's 31, Russell, but I am 29. I am 30 in, what is it, like 34 days or something. That's what I like to hear, Anton. What I like to hear. Chase your dreams. I had this conversation on a Facebook page recently. You've got to you live your whole life working. So make sure when you're working, like you spend a higher percentage of your life, a massively higher percentage of your life, um, at work. Like you're at work 5 to 7 days a week. You only get like a few weeks off in a year. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So find something you enjoy, and if you can't find something you enjoy, try and make a job you enjoy. You know. Thank you very much, Mr. Krabs. I probably will do one or two more lives before my birthday, but thank you very much. I think it falls on a weekend or a Friday or something this year. I can't remember. Can't remember. Sometimes forget even how old I am half the time, to be honest with you. But yes, chase your dreams. Definitely. Definitely. It's not easy, but you've got to take the plunge. Even if you think it's not going to work, you'll kick yourself if you don't try. You're lying on your deathbed. You will kick yourself for not trying. Not at least giving it a bash. You can always get another job, but your dreams are your dreams. Jobs come and go. I know that one very well. Here's my boy. What are you saying, beautiful? Hmm? So we will put him back. Years straight traveling to work and back in their lifetime. Yeah, so that's a year just traveling, which is right. I used to I worked for a gardening company doing high-end gardens for a while, for a couple of years. I had my own gardening business for about 3 after it. Um, and yeah, he stopped paying you at the last job. So you had to drive an hour's drive back with his vans to the depot to pick up your car to then drive home again. And you weren't paid for that hour traveling just to bring his vans back. It was absolutely crazy. I was like, I'm bringing your vans back. You should be paying me for this because I could just leave this van here. Absolutely crazy. Mordecai really doesn't like going home. So yeah, do something you enjoy or try to. Even just try and find some enjoyment in your job. Try and figure out something that you like about your job and latch onto that. The snake is not making life easy. He's now wrapping himself around the tripod. Back. In. You silly boy. I love you too. Absolutely love that snake. Hates going home. Loves being out. Eh? 3-day weekend. In the boy. Away back to his corner. Bye, son. Sweet dreams. Although yours will be getting up. 3-day weekends. I think, yeah. When I was working a weekly job or whatever, I always thought weekend should be 3 days. Definitely, 100%. Mr. Krabs is unemployed. I thought you did Krabby Flat Pie. Or are you just, have you already lost your job after telling everyone the secret recipe of the Krabby Pie? Are you, I mean, a lot of people are unemployed just now. They are. Um, but it's a time to figure out what you want to do, you know? You're not, what do you mean? You're not at the job 50% of the year, Max? That's all your job works do. Because you're working to earn a pointless bit of paper, you know? So spend that bit of paper on something that you enjoy. Mr. Krabs got fired. I really don't want to ask why, do I? That's good, Russell. What are you and your girlfriend away to do? That's awesome. Build a family business. I like that. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I wish I could work that. My my business, as you can tell, doing parties and education and stuff like that, it's suffering because of all this COVID nonsense right now. Not many people partying it up. I get the odd job. I'm bringing more to the business now. I'm doing more with it. Started doing like cards and stuff with personalized cards with like a bit of snake shed in it for the kids at the kids' parties and things like that, and stickers in it. And of course, I'm using the tarantula now and all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's cool. I like working. Well, I mean, I built these bibs behind me. I love working at woodwork and all that kind of stuff. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. That's awesome, Russell. Build a future together. That's pretty cool. Mr. Krabs. I don't know if you're joking or serious right now, but either way, that's funny. Tax fraud is apparently illegal, so I got fired. I'm favoriting that. That's going to be a favorite comment of the day. You're going to make, that's cool. Yeah, I love making enclosures. One of my favorite part about keeping reptiles is making their enclosures. When we move into a bigger house with more space, I'll be making some bigger enclosures. Definitely for the Tegu. I'm not happy with Alita living in a 6x3 for the rest of her life. I want her in something bigger. Because she's female and she gets a lot of free roam. It's kind of how I'm allowing it just now. But I really want her in something bigger. She do stand-up comedy. She do it in the what's Mr. Krabs restaurant called? Well, that's the burger, is it not? Is the restaurant called the Krabby Patty? You play SpongeBob on PlayStation. Mr. Mr. Krabs is here all week though. But yeah, no, that's cool. Build a future together. That's awesome. That's living the dream, you know. But yeah, I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on tonight. I may do a YouTube video about that in the future, rounding it off and simplifying it down and abbreviating it. Krusty Krab, that's it. I knew it wasn't the Krabby. I knew the Krabby Patty was the burger. Kirsten says it's spelled with a kicking kick, though. Yes, the Krusty Krab. The Krusty Krab. Trying not to be rude right now. There's a family-friendly YouTube channel. That's awesome. Yeah, so I've touched on everything. Told you guys, spread the love, cut out the hate, stop judging each other, and support each other. Details. But yeah, no, that's just what I wanted to say. Is everything's crazy just now. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, this person's doing that person's doing that." Help each other, support each other, learn off each other. And then I was going to tell you about Alita's moment of craziness, her wild moment. But she let me down, but she'll regain herself. Don't worry. So yeah, we've had an hour tonight live. Gone over a firm. So I think I'm just gonna end it there, guys. I think. Nothing else, unless you guys have any more questions. Been a good one as always. Let's try and make out if I'd shut that Viv there or not, if we were going to have an escapee tonight. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Stay safe. Love your animals. Love your friends. Love each other. And take it easy. Peace.